Hello and welcome back to SheRoom. Today we're going to create a new one-shoulder mini dress inspired by SheRoom's original design of a white mini self-wedding dress. Here are the pattern sizes I've designed. I've received inquiries about selling these patterns, but since we're not selling them yet, I'm sharing the sizes here. Once you have the front pattern ready, prepare the outer fabric and the lining. It's best to attach firm interfacing to the outer fabric to ensure the bodice holds its shape beautifully. Do not attach interfacing to the lining and make sure the lining is cut to match the outer fabric for a high quality finish. These are the sizes for the back pattern. Remember, sizes are not absolute and can be adjusted according to the individual body measurements and characteristics. The back of the bodice also has firm interfacing on the outer fabric, while the lining does not. Don't forget to mark the notches. I've allowed a 2 cm seam allowance for the zipper. Now, let's start sewing. Align the notches at the bust carefully and use pins to secure the fabric to prevent it from shifting during sewing. If the fabric doesn't match well when basting, it might be due to the curves. Make sure to add small snips along the curves to align them properly. When basting curves, I usually match the center and the ends first, then adjust the length by adding snips. This time, the camera shakes a bit because I placed the sewing machine and camera stand on the same table. I apologize for that. Pin and sew the other side in the same way. The front bodice is now simply finished. Press the seam allowances towards the inside of the bodice and iron them neatly for a clean finish. You can sew the lining the same way, but since it's a one-shoulder design, it might be a bit confusing. Check that the lining and the outer fabric are symmetrical when placed right sides together. Now, it's time to sew the back of the bodice. When drafting patterns at home, you might accidentally draft the back bodice pattern in the opposite direction, resulting in the front bodice having the right shoulder as the off shoulder, and the back bodice having the left shoulder as the off shoulder. To avoid this mistake, draw both the front and back bodice pattern with the right shoulder as the off shoulder. When sewing, if you're confused, pin the shoulder seams and check the finished image visually before sewing. Align the pieces using the notches as reference points, pin the fabric securely, and sew it. Press the seam allowances open for a clean finish. When sewing the zipper, be careful not to mix it up with other seam allowances. Press the seam allowances open after sewing. This project is made with muslin fabric. I was too busy to film the process with silk fabric. To prevent fraying, I finished the seam allowances with an overlock stitch. Now, let's join the shoulders of the front and back bodice. Pin them in place and sew. Press the interfacing open. I made a gap to add a buttonhole at the shoulder, but you can skip this part. Next, we'll attach the lining. Have you ever experienced the fabric shifting while sewing the lining? Well, here's a tip. Align the notch at the center of the neckline and pin the shoulder seams to ensure they are even. Pin the fabric along the zipper area to match the seams. And sew from the center notch of the neckline. Although dividing the sewing into halves can be tedious, it reduces fabric shifting. With practice, you'll eventually be able to sew without dividing the sections. Experience truly is key. Trim any long, protruding threads promptly to prevent them from tangling inside the sewing machine. After sewing the remaining parts of the bodice, align the notch at the center of the neckline with the zipper area, pinning securely, and sew from the center notch of the neckline to the zipper area. Now, let's sew the armholes. After sewing, trim the seam allowance of the neckline to about 5 mm, being careful not to cut the stitching. Add snips along the armholes. And trim the shoulder seam allowance to 5 mm to prevent bulkiness. Turn the bodice right side out through the shoulder. Once turned, press the fabric sharply to hide the lining. Now we'll sew the side seams of the bodice. Place the right side together. pin, and sew. If the underarm area feels bulky, trim the seam allowance without touching the stitching line and press well. Next, we'll sew the back of the skirt. I attached 27 cm of interfacing, including the waist seam allowance for the zipper area. Sew the remaining skirt parts below the interfacing. Be careful not to sew the interfacing so that you can attach the zipper. Press the seam allowances open after sewing. Join the front and back of the skirt by aligning the side seams, pinning, and sewing. I find sewing the skirt the easiest part. Sew the other side seam and press the seam allowances open. Now, let's attach the bodice and the skirt. Mark the center front of the skirt with a notch. Place the right sides of the skirt and bodice together, aligning the center notches and the side seams, and pin securely. Adjust the fit along the waistline by adding snips if necessary. After pinning, sew the pieces together. Press the waist seam allowance towards the skirt. Next, we'll attach the zipper. To finish the start of the zipper, fold it neatly, trim the excess, and seal it with heat from a lighter. Then baste the zipper in place. Oh, my team member bought me a milk tea. Thank you. Back to the task at hand. After basting, sew the zipper. Don't forget to use a zipper foot. Here's a tip to avoid crooked zippers. After sewing one side of the zipper, close it and use pins to mark the waistline accurately. Open the zipper and line the waistline marks with the pins, then baste them. This will be your reference point. Baste from the reference point to the start of the zipper, then return to the reference point and baste down to the bottom of the skirt zipper. Sew in place for a perfectly aligned zipper. Let's see how it looks. The waistline and the start of the zipper align perfectly, and I am very satisfied. Now, we'll attach the lining to the skirt. Do it the same way as the outer fabric. Align the right side of the bodice lining and the skirt lining, using the center notch as a guide. Pin the seam allowances carefully and sew. Next, we'll finish the zipper area. After checking the finished shape, reach inside, secure it firmly, and carefully turn it inside out. Pin and sew, being cautious not to catch the outer fabric or the zipper. Repeat on the other side and finish the skirt hem with a rolled hem. Shall we see the finished product? It looks neat and well done. Moments like this make me happy. Now, let's create a decoration for the left shoulder. I decided to make a ribbon. Prepare a rectangular piece of fabric in your desired size. I prepared 2 rectangles of different sizes and mark the center with a notch to ensure proper alignment when sewing. Leave about 10 cm in the center unstitched and sew around the edges. Trim the corners. Turn the fabric right side out through the 10 centimeter opening and use your fingers or a needle and thread to shape the corners sharply. Then, sew the opening closed. I'll arrange the ribbon like this. Sew the other pieces the same way and press them neatly. Ribbons don't have a fixed shape. Design and create your own ribbon in the way you like best. I'll attach this ribbon to the left shoulder as a decorative touch. Ta-da! Here's the silk version of the dress. It's being shipped out this week. The design changed a bit after consulting with the customer. She has a glamorous figure, making the bust area larger. I'm envious. We also added a detachable decorative skirt. Don't you think it's lovely? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this beautiful outfit with me. Have a wonderful day and see you next time.